Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel, The Glammed Rebel. I hope everyone's having a good day. Please like, comment, and subscribe for daily updates. B&B spoilers. Thomas and Steffy's devastating childhood trauma points to one villain. And it's not Brooke Logan. The bold and the beautiful insane prediction. The hidden villain in Thomas and Steffy's trauma is not Brooke Logan. It's Ridge Forrester. TLDR. Decades of the bold and the beautiful history reveal that Ridge Forrester's chronic neglect, indecisiveness, and emotional abandonment are the real root causes of Thomas and Steffy's psychological scars. Their violent confrontations and displaced rage are symptoms of unresolved childhood trauma inflicted by Ridge's selfishness. The show has long avoided confronting this uncomfortable truth, but the time has come to face it. Introduction. The hidden wound in the Forrester dynasty. The bold and the beautiful has captivated audiences for over 35 years, weaving a tapestry of love, betrayal, ambition, and family secrets. Yet beneath its glamorous veneer lies a dark, often overlooked truth: the profound, lasting damage caused by Ridge Forrester's pattern of emotional neglect and indecisiveness. Every generation of Forrester children, Thomas, Steffy, and even Hope, bears the scars of Ridge's inability to provide a stable, nurturing environment. Their reactions, anger, obsession, violence, are not random acts of villainy, but expressions of deep-seated trauma rooted in childhood. Recent episodes have seen Thomas physically attacking Brooke, Ridge needing to restrain his son, and tense confrontations that hint at a larger, unspoken truth. Ridge's persistent failure as a father is the true villain in this story. This is the shocking, yet undeniable core. Ridge Forrester's chronic emotional abandonment is the root cause of his children's psychological wounds, not Brooke Logan or any other external villain. Chapter 1. The genesis of the Forrester family tragedy. Ridge's pattern of abandonment. The early years. Ridge's emotional neglect and its impact. When you look at Ridge Forrester's history, it's clear that his behavior has consistently prioritized his romantic pursuits over his responsibilities as a father. His actions, leaving, returning, vacillating, have created a dangerous emotional landscape for his children. Key moments that exemplify Ridge's pattern. A leaving Taylor for Brooke. Ridge's repeated abandonments of Taylor Hayes, the woman he professed to love, often to chase fleeting passions with Brooke, sent a powerful message to his children. Their emotional needs are secondary to his love life. Ridge's indecisiveness and constant switching between women created chaos in the home, destabilizing his children's sense of security. Failure to prioritize family. Although Ridge's romantic dramas take center stage, his inability to provide consistent love and stability to his children is the silent tragedy that shapes their lives. Ridge's chronic indecisiveness, the true villain. While Ridge is portrayed as a romantic hero, his indecision and emotional unavailability are the real villains. His inability to commit, own his mistakes, or prioritize his family's well-being has sowed trauma. The psychological impact is significant. A Thomas. As the youngest, Thomas internalized Ridge's indecisiveness as a message. He was unworthy of love, stability, or consistency. Steffy. Her rebelliousness, impulsivity, and emotional volatility stem from growing up in a home where love was conditional and unpredictable. Shared trauma. Their reactions, violence, obsession, manipulation, are driven by unresolved childhood pain. The power of repeated abandonment. Research in developmental psychology confirms that children who experience parental neglect or inconsistency are at higher risk for mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, attachment disorders, and personality disturbances. The Forrester children's reality. They watched Ridge leave and return, sometimes with promises of stability, sometimes with heartbreak. Ridge's inability to stay committed battered their sense of self-worth, fostering feelings of rejection and unworthiness. Chaos, rather than nurturing love, characterized their childhood. Displacement of rage, the real cause of Thomas and Steffy's outbursts. When children experience neglect or emotional trauma, they often redirect their anger toward the perceived source of their pain. For Thomas and Steffy, that source is often Brooke, the other woman, but beneath that is Ridge, the true cause of their suffering. Why? Brooke is an easier target. She's the woman Ridge pursued fiercely, often at the expense of his family. Ridge's absence, inconsistency, and emotional neglect have created a vacuum. Displaced rage finds a target in Brooke, when in fact Ridge is the true villain. Chapter 2. The myth of Brooke as the villain, a scapegoat for Ridge's failings. The narrative we've been sold. For decades, B&B has painted Brooke Logan as the other woman, a homewrecker and the villain in Ridge's love life. While Brooke's actions have sometimes been flawed, she has generally been portrayed as a sympathetic figure, often the victim of Ridge's indecision. But is Brooke truly the villain? Brooke was single and independent when Ridge pursued her. She owed no one anything. Ridge's obsession with the love triangle and his inability to choose have created chaos, not Brooke. Ridge's selfishness and avoidance. Is Ridge the true villain? Ridge's chronic avoidance of responsibility. He never truly faced his role as a father. Instead, he kept the focus on his romantic pursuits. He prioritized his passions over his children's stability. Every time Ridge left Taylor or Brooke, he left his children's emotional needs unfulfilled. He perpetuated a cycle of instability. His actions taught Thomas and Steffy that love is conditional, fleeting, and unreliable. The consequences of Ridge's failures. Thomas grew up feeling disposable and unworthy of consistent love, leading to obsessive tendencies and violent outbursts. Steffy developed rebelliousness and emotional volatility, often acting out as a response to her father's absence. The family's core trauma, an unspoken, unresolved grief over Ridge's inability to be a stable, dependable father. Chapter 3. The Deep Roots of Trauma. How childhood wounds manifest in adult violence. The psychology of displacement and rage. Children who grow up with parental neglect or inconsistency often develop maladaptive coping mechanisms. Displacement of anger onto other family members, especially those who are more accessible targets, is a common defense. In this context, Thomas's violent attack on Brooke is a displaced act of rage aimed at the wrong person. His real anger is directed inward at Ridge for the emotional neglect and abandonment he experienced. Steffy's own outbursts and rebelliousness are also expressions of unresolved trauma. The role of attachment theory. Attachment theory posits that early childhood experiences with caregivers shape adult relationship patterns. Ridge's inconsistent presence created insecure attachment bonds. Thomas and Steffy, lacking a secure attachment figure, developed anxious or avoidant attachment styles, leading to instability and maladaptive behaviors. The cycle of trauma and violence. Without acknowledgement and healing, trauma tends to pass down, generations of unresolved pain manifesting in destructive ways. Thomas's violent confrontation with Brooke is not an isolated incident, but an expression of this cycle. Chapter 4. The Unspoken, Unacknowledged Truth. Ridge's role as the true villain. The facade of the romantic hero. B&B has long romanticized Ridge as a tortured hero torn between love and duty. But beneath that lie the darker truths. He avoided responsibility. Instead of owning his failures, he deflected blame onto others. He prioritized fleeting passions. His revolving love life destabilized his children's lives. He failed to provide a stable home. His indecisiveness and emotional unavailability created chaos. The impact of Ridge's failures on Thomas. Grew up feeling unloved and disposable, fueling obsession and violence. On Steffy, developed rebelliousness and emotional volatility, unable to process her pain. On the family, a legacy of trauma, mistrust, and dysfunction. The hidden truth. The real villain in this family saga is Ridge himself, whose selfishness, avoidance, and chronic indecisiveness created the environment of instability and pain that continues to haunt the Forrester children. Chapter 5. The future of the Forrester saga. Will the show confront this truth? The obstacles to true healing. B&B has historically avoided confronting its characters' deeper psychological scars, preferring sensational love triangles and superficial conflicts. Why? The love triangle formula generates drama and ratings. Ridge's indecisiveness and avoidance serve as plot devices to prolong conflict. Addressing the root causes would require genuine character growth and accountability, which the show has historically shied away from. The power of facing the truth. If the show dared to confront Ridge's role as the true villain, it could transform the narrative into a story of healing. A show Ridge finally owning his failures, apologizing and making amends. Allow Thomas and Steffy to confront their childhood wounds, leading to genuine reconciliation. Reframe Brooke as a victim, not a villain, in this complex family dynamic. The possibility of a healing arc. Such a storyline would be groundbreaking for soap operas, shifting focus from superficial romance to deep psychological healing. It would provide B&B a chance to explore themes of accountability, forgiveness, and emotional growth. Chapter 6. The long-awaited confrontation. What needs to happen? The confrontation that's been long overdue. Thomas and Steffy need to confront Ridge, not about his romantic choices, but about his failures as a father. Thomas, you told me love was conditional. You made me feel disposable. Steffy, you chose your love life over us, over our childhoods. Ridge, I was selfish. I was afraid. I didn't know how to be a father. This honest, raw confrontation could finally lay bare the truth. Ridge's neglect created the monsters that are Thomas and Steffy today. The healing process. Ridge must accept responsibility. Thomas and Steffy need to process their childhood trauma. The family must rebuild trust and create a new foundation based on accountability. Conclusion. The true villain is the father who failed his children. The Bold and the Beautiful has a golden opportunity to elevate its storytelling by addressing the deeper psychological wounds at its core. The real villain in Thomas and Steffy's lives isn't Brooke Logan or anyone else. It's Ridge Forrester, whose chronic indecisiveness, emotional neglect, and avoidance have inflicted lifelong trauma. Until Ridge finally faces his failures, the cycle of pain and dysfunction will persist. But if the show dares to confront this uncomfortable truth, it could finally transform into a story of genuine redemption, healing, and growth. Final reflection. Why this matters. This isn't just soap opera drama. It's a reflection of real-life issues. The ramifications of parental neglect are profound. The cycle of trauma passed down through generations. The importance of accountability and emotional responsibility. B&B has the chance to be a groundbreaking series by finally telling this deeper story. Will they? Only time will tell. But one thing's certain. Until Ridge owns his role as the true villain, the scars on his children will remain unhealed, and their pain will continue to manifest in destructive ways. What do you think? Might it be time for Ridge to recognize his shortcomings? Or is the show destined to keep the cycle of dysfunction alive? Share your thoughts and theories below. You are welcome to share any video requests in the comments. I will make a video about it. Stay connected with the Glammed Rebel for all the latest updates, spoilers, and deep dive recaps. See you in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. May God keep you safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell button for daily updates.